When you eat, what do you do with the leftover? Hi, my name is Jorge Luis, and I'm going to speak about wasting food. Wasting food is a very bad problem that is so bad for all because we are wasting too much food, and it's so bad for our ecosystem because many food are getting wasted and decomposing. The importance of reduce food waste is that we can prevent too many problems like the climate change or other any type of problems. To prevent this, we can have more habits like keeping leftover food on the refrigerator or use use the necessary ingredients when you are cooking. Three, buying the required quantity when you buy some materials of food. Four, check your appetite before you eat. And five, reduce the leftovers. These are some tips that you can do for prevent. Food waste has become one of the most problems in these few years because we are wasting a lot of food. And to combat this, we can have more strategies or more habits like donate some food to other people or create a program of donation of food and donate. Obviously, the food can be usable or of leftovers to to many supplies chain and product distribution. My main ideas, my main points are that we can create new meals or create a new notion to ours, but in conclusion, we we can do more strategies and have more ideas because this is so bad for all, and the government must be work together to to have more control in this problem because by taking food system we can do a lot of work and have a good food system in our future generations.
The only way to stay healthy is eat what you don't want, drink what you don't like, and do what you don't want to do. What are the benefits of a good nutrition? There are a lot of benefits that can help people with their life and their health. So in this speech, I'm going to talk about the benefits of a good nutrition, how do we have a good nutrition, and how to avoid the junk food. I am Carlos Torres Jimenez. Okay, the benefits of eating healthy for adults are live longer, skip teeth and eyes healthy, support the muscles, and reduce the sickness. Other benefits are strengthen the bones. And for young people, the benefits are have more speed and more strength and be more muscular. For children, there are the same benefits, including the brain development and have a ideal weight according to the height. And the best benefits for adults, children, and young people is to be in the maximal level. This is the best benefit. Eating several times a day. Eating between 5 or 6 meals has numerous benefits for metabolism. And if you only eat 3 times a day, the body secretes more insulin from eating more food and process in a much less optimal way. To have a good nutrition, it have to be complete. It must include all the carbohydrates and the nutrients, all the vitamins that the body needs, and the required sugar for the body. It has to be balanced if you want to do a diet. And for other, you should need 1.5 of water, and it has to be sufficient. It's easy to feel bombarded with information about other things of eating healthy, but good nutrition is about consciously choosing the correct foods. And if you eat the correct foods with family or friends, you can enjoy them and reflect your preference, and you can choose your foods when you want. To have a good nutrition, Also, you need to avoid the junk food, so you can do this. First, avoid drinking soda, water with sugar, or industrial juices. Have an exercise routine. Always have fruits and vegetables, and prepare fruit water without sugar to refresh yourself. Sleep well. So many times not sleeping well has caused people to feel anxious and at the end eating poorly. Have a good breakfast because it's necessary to always have breakfast. Uh, have exercise routine. Eat 5 meals a day and have a balanced diet. In conclusion, the best benefits of a good nutrition is live longer, be taller and muscular, have a ideal weight, and reduce the sickness. So I invite you to have a good nutrition and eat healthy. A healthy body is a gets is a guest room for the soul. A sick body is a pressure. Thank you.
Do you know that 40% of the population, or 3.3 billion of people, speak more than one language? According with the major benefits, this is a great form to open new opportunities, increase the creativity, and help to connect with people from other countries. Every country has their own language. For example, here in Mexico, we speak Spanish, but in Beijing, they speak Mandarin. Around the world, there are a lot of languages, but why do we just speak one language? Today, I'm here to talk to you about the most popular languages, and what are the advantages. First of all, we already know that there are a lot of languages, but the two most common are English with at least more than 1.4 billion of speakers, and according with the Web Technology Surveys, 51.7 that is published on the web is in English. After that are the Mandarin, with at least more than 1.1 billion of speakers. Mandarin isn't exactly a language, but if you want to learn Chinese, can be helpful. But just because they are the most talked, it doesn't mean that they are the most used. For example, when you are looking for a job, there are two languages that can help you. First of all, the English. And according with AudioList, 92% of the jobs require you to master this language, written and spoken. If you want to work in the tourist industry, you can try with French. France is one of the most visited places in Europe and has more than 274 millions of speakers. Most of the time, they hire people in hospitality, commerce, and sales. Some of the advantages that I can imagine of what can you do is that you can travel around the world, you can meet new people, and have a good job. But why I'm saying this? Because I have a friend, and he is 16 years old. He worked like a traductor, and they pay him $3,000 just to translate 40 pages to English to Spanish. Now you know more about the most popular languages, and what are the advantages. I invite you to dominate more than one or two languages, and remember that the languages are something beautiful, and I hope that can help you in your life. A different language is a different vision of the life. Federico Fellini.
Kindness and empathy in the world. What a problem nowadays, right? Time ago, I had a friend. Her mom died, and she was really bad. I mean, her mom died, and none of the words that was told to her helped her. But one thing that I knew is what she needed. The next day, I went to her house, bring her food, and making sure that she ate, and helping her with the things she needed. What I'm trying to tell you here is that people need empathy. People need someone who cares and look after you. We need empathy in our world, in our people, in our friends, in our family, and in unknown people. And God knows how many people have you been empathic with. And let me tell you something, everything in this world comes back. And start being empathy. Start being love, give kindness, and give that feeling that you will need someday. Because you will need that in your lowest feelings, in your bad times, when someone dies, when you lost someone that you cares, you will need that feeling that will support you and look after you in your bad times, in your lowest feelings. And I see a community that is more valuable and most expensive than the most beautiful jewel. I see hope. How many times we will go through the streets and see someone that needs help and you will just ignore them? How many times we will still hear in the news that another girl or boy disappeared? How many times we won't go outside just because it's dark out and you're afraid of not coming home later? So don't be a saint. No, be the change. And do it right now with you, with your family. We don't know people, but first of all, be it with you. Be the change in the world.
Install solar panels. In the search for sustainable energy solution, solar panels have been the best alternative because they take advantage of sun's energy to generate clean and renewable electricity. Installing solar panels is necessary to reduce your carbon footprint and reduce your electricity bills. Now, in the next few minutes, I talk about two solar panels. How they work. Solar panels work through an effect called photovoltaic. This causes the panels absorb the energy and generate it, which generate electric current. And invent, whether from a power company, converts this direct current into alternative current. For home use, this electrical current is integrated into home's electrical system. And this electric is used for different devices. Why you should use them? There are many benefits to having, to helps, not only to helps against climate change, but by there is also two economic benefits, which to helps in to reduce the cost of electricity, and in some case can increase the value of the property. They help you in to reduce your dependence on fossil fuels and reduce your energy losses. Not only are those benefits present, but by adopting solar technologies and shift towards more activities. Solar panels install is a process that requires great careful and efficient installation. It is highly recommended to hire a professional installer. The first thing to do is evaluate the site and do an analysis the energy needs and check the local regulation, the numbers of panels. The next thing to do is installing of solar mountain systems. To have, you must know the price. This depends of the country, but by solar panel cost, this depends $16,000, or in some case more than $35,000. The price is depending of the cost of solar panels and the cost of installer. The brighter is the cost of solar panels fell at 15% of the last 10 years. I thought about this because the solar panels technologies is necessary to reduce your carbon footprint.
Hi, my name is Beatriz Maldonado and I'm going to talk about the education outside the classroom. Education is important for all people in every way. Sometimes you think and ask yourself if study will help you all your life, and the answer is yes. Education helps you to improve critical thinking, get a better job, economic growth, and confidence. Sometimes school brings a lot of stress, and stress is relieved within minutes of exposure to nature. Improve the blood pressure, muscle tension, and brain activity. In the next minutes, I will tell you about the education outside the classroom. First, taking education beyond the walls of the classroom allows us to access to a real world. The goal is not to only impart the knowledge that are in the textbooks, but to prepare students for the real world challenges. Secondly, some benefits of the education outside the classroom are that the students get a critical thinking, be more familiarized with the real world, and it fosters creativity and interactivity. Thirdly, some ideas for education outside the classroom can be go to a local park, to green areas, to do reading circles and critique circles. And also you can do a debate in a shade of a tree. Therefore, I invite you to impart the education outside the classroom because it helps to the students to get critical thinking and better jobs in their future. Thank you for your attention.
Have you ever felt you were depressed? Heck, maybe even thought that way? Have you ever had a chronic fatigue, felt worthless, guilty, had difficulty in concentrating, insomnia, overslept regularly, a continuous low mood, or sadness? I bet all of you have at least once. But have you ever asked yourself why? Why did you begin to perceive this feeling? Was it news from your doctor saying that you have a chronic illness and you'll die any day now? Was it news from your job saying that you got fired for one of the most stupid reasons in the world? Or was it something else? The thing with depression is that it can't just be caused by any negative situation. One time, back at my primary school, there was a girl that used to think she was depressed because her mom didn't let her go out with her friends. The worst part was, she really thought she was depressed. Literally, every time someone asked her how she was feeling that day, she responded with, "Oh, I'm depressed." What she was really feeling was sorrow. Something that takes me off from some people is that they don't understand the difference between sorrow or depression. Sorrow is, according to the Urban Dictionary, a feeling of deep distress suffered by oneself or others, while depression is very similar to sorrow, but more prolonged and can affect a person's lives in various aspects of it. But as there's depression in our ambience, there are ways to deal with it. Well, not deal with it, get rid of it and improve. One wonderful example would be staying in touch with life. I'd say this is one of the most difficult things to overcome when in depression, because people suffering this tend to view the world in a concerningly pessimistic way. But at the very least, try to stay in touch with friends and family, since that can really help with your emotional status. And trust me, a lot of people felt so much better after speaking to people they know and love. Another good example would be having a daily routine. This could mean doing exercise twice a week, having assigned breakfasts, lunches, and dinners, and even a sleep schedule. Exercise is an amazing choice because if you are one to like socializing and don't have a fear of doing that, you can do this and create social groups, and exercising can be so much more fun than it really is. But doing this won't cure your depression just like that. I mean, it helps, but it just won't get rid of it by doing those simple tasks. So, as it is always required, seek professional help. It's a requirement. You could seek for psychiatrists, psychologists, or licensed professional counselors. All these people can help with your mental health problems or issues you have on your day-to-day basis. Not many people can bring up the courage to speak to someone about their problems, let alone a therapist. I mean, if they can't even speak to someone they know or love about their problems, imagine how hard it would be speaking to a complete stranger. Luckily, there's a solution to that, except it'll take much longer than professional help. And that is writing in a journal. You don't need to be good at writing to do this. Just pour your heart out and turn it into words. Or for the more artistic side, you can create drawings or anything involving your feelings. I'd say this can help a lot of people, and it helps including myself when I feel irritated, ticked off, or almost any feeling that exists. The key to writing or drawing about your feelings or problems or whatever is making sure you know what they are. I mean, you can't draw or write your feelings when you don't even know what they are, right? And studying them seems like such a burdensome job, especially for a time like this. But I recommend just study the problem or emotion or whatever you're feeling or experiencing mentally. Ask yourself why you're feeling this, what caused you to perceive this, and this can help you to feel better knowing the answer why. Helps me too. As time goes on, you will experience a series of emotions. And it's fine, because it's all part of growing up. Of course, some will be stronger than others, lasting more and making days much longer than they really are. But I invite you to try experience those emotions, whether they be positive or negative, in a healthy way, one where you could feel those sensations and get up from any emotion that can bring you down. As I spoke about ways to get rid of your depression in common ways, with professional help or with creating an artistic masterpiece, you can try any of those options out, or even create a new one. Remember, it's all in mind. Don't forget that seeking for assistance isn't a sign of weakness, but a call for help. Thank you.
With time and maturity, you will discover that you have two hands, one to help you and one to help others. Did you know that generosity is a value that many think is being lost, but the truth is that it is not? There are always people who give without expecting to receive anything in return. Their generosity is the habit of sharing or giving with someone else the thing that belongs to you. Seen another way is the habit or the voluntary to sharing what belongs to. Derived from generosity, we can also use for a better environment. How can we achieve it? Something that has been cultivating is the generosity, something that takes care of our planet, such as collecting garbage for a better environment. This is done in public places, at school, or simply in the places where you live. Something that takes care of the generosity is that only not help to the persons that receive to you her help, but also ourselves, because you feel satisfied to giving with others what belongs to. Derived from generosity, we can also for a better environment. How can we apply this for our society? We can apply this for our society, since if each person has the valuable of the gift of generous, you can contribute for a small change in our world. If each person do the same, it could be more, and you will start with. How can we start with? You have many options of doing generosity and connect with the environment. It could be more like options like plant trees, organic products, generate much less pollution, and there are also like plant trees, connect with the nature, reduce your organic or garbage that you produce. If little by little we reduce our pollution, we could make a world of another level. The planet is our home. Let's not turn into a garbage dump.
Exercise is key to physical and mental health. Nelson Mandela. Hello, my name is Patricio, and today I'm going to talk about the benefits of doing exercise. In the life, there are many ways to do exercise and be healthy. You can drink water, eating healthy, not having addictions or bad habits. But there is one in general that improves the appearance of your body, makes you more attractive, and change your lifestyle. That's right. I'm talking about the benefits of doing exercise. Firstly, what is exercise? Physical exercise is any voluntary movement performed by the muscles, which expends extra energy, whose purpose is to maintain and improve our physical fitness activity to carry out daily tasks, enjoying our leisures, reducing disease, developing for lack of our physical activity, and maintaining our intellectual capacity to the maximum. Secondly, what can we do to do exercise? There are many ways to do exercise, but today I'm going to tell 4 things that you can do. Some options include doing physical activity like running, cycling, swimming, or doing any sport like playing football, soccer, swimming, dancing, doing gymnastics, or any kind of sport that you imagine. Join a gym or sports centers. They offer a wide variety of equipment and classes and personal trainers that can help you with your daily routines. Doing physical activity in your daily life. Like instead of use the car, you can walk or cycling, and instead of use the elevator, you can climb the stairs. 4 benefits of doing exercise. Improve cardiovascular health. Exercise helps to the circulation of blood and reduce the risk of high blood pressure. Weight control. Exercise helps to burn calories and maintain the body healthy. Exercise helps to reduce anxiety, depression, and stress. In addition, it can increase the production of endorphins, chemicals that generate the sensations of well-being, happiness. In conclusion, the benefits of exercise are a lot, and benefits or
muscles, your body, your mental health, and your physical activity. And I invite you to do exercise and keep healthy. About the exercise is to start doing. Once you are doing, the hardest thing is to stop doing. Erin Gray.
I'm Frida Valdez and I'm from Villa Educativa. Stop wasting food is a delicious way of saving money. Food waste has numerous implications, including on the economy. If you stop wasting food, you won't just help the people. You will be helping the global economy and our resources like water, land, and energy. If you consider the environmental impact and cost of things like deforestation, soil, erosion, or increased greenhouse gases, the total economic impact is about 3 trillion each year. So, in this essay, I'm going to be talking about the food waste and its implications. First, the nature doesn't waste anything. An example of this is when an animal dies. The microorganisms decompose the organic material to be reabsorbed by the land in form of nutrients. But if you incinerate the food, you stop this cycle. Even if you don't incinerate it, it will still be harmful for the environment, because the food rotting away produces a greenhouse gas called methane that is more potent than CO2 and contributes to climate change. But how can you prevent this? One alternative is to teach children or even adults the consequences of wasting food and how to prevent it. Scientists who study the food waste and how it affects our environment. And I think that instead of throwing away the food, you can just give it to an animal only if it's good for them. The UN assures that by 2026 we will be able to reduce food waste in a 30%. So I invite you to try don't wasting food, because you waste the resources employed by doing that food, like water, land, and energy.
I have a dream, just one dream. Keep dreaming, dreaming of freedom, dreaming of justice, dreaming of equality. And I wish no longer dream them. Martin Luther King. Hello, my name is Esteban Ariel from Villa Educativa Saltillo, and today, in the next minutes, I'm going to talk about what is racism, what happened to the people that are affected, and what we can do to accept the racial difference. Racism, in various forms, is a poisonous force that infiltrates in communities, in institutes, and workplaces. People who bear them can have physical and physiological changes. The troubles that make racism are multifactorial. First and foremost, the systemic disparities in education, healthcare, and employment, making people have anxiety, stress, and depression. And sometimes people can have a hostile attitude that can affect other people. To accept the racial difference, we can do some things like, in education, we can teach other people how to talk with another without insulting them. We can speak with another to talk about them, and we can help them. And we can do some events to know other people of other country and know what our racial difference are. In conclusion, I'll talk you about what is racism, what happened to the people that are affected, and what we can do to accept the racial difference. So now it's our work to save the planet and make a better planet and be in peace. Thank you.
Hi, my name is Jimena Sofia. I'm from the school Villa Educativa Saltillo. So, can you listen to me, make a pause, and think? Have you ever really stopped and see what is going on the mind of someone you call exaggerate? What I mean with that? Well, some persons that can have different behaviors than us. For example, you are dining with a friend and you are talking who will wash the dishes. In someone that can start with a normal conversation can end with someone crying and screaming that it's not fair for that person. But you know what do that happen? Well, it could be a sign of a mental illness. But have you ever hear about that kind of problems? Probably not, because it's not common that in the school or in our house tell about this kind of problems. So let me tell you what a mental illness is, what they can cause, and how to avoid it. According to Mundo Psicólogos Committee, the mental illness refers to mental disorders that can affect the way to think, mood, and behaviors. Most of the time, people manifest this kind of problems time to time, but when it becomes permanent, it can cause strains and can affect the way to function. Many people think that there are small problems that eventually it will disappear, but the truth is that if you don't go to therapy or with a psychologist, you will fall into something called self-harm. But you know what a self-harm is? Well, it's a damage that a person voluntarily provokes without the intention of suicide. It could be compulsive and it's difficult to stop. It's not social accepted and it's compulsive because why would you hurt yourself only for a problem you have? Well, it could be performed in the arms, torso, and in the legs. Some examples of the self-harm include the cuts, the burn, the hair pulling, the scratches, and many more. Having this type of problems is not easy, and I admire the people who can still alive with this type of problems because they need to be strong people that are still alive and they're not trying to suicide. If you can prevent this type of problems or you want to avoid them, there are some examples that you could do to avoid them. Number one, talk with a friend where you are alone or to a familiar, because being alone is something that can put you and can cause you anxiety, and it will be not very comfortable to you. If you have the necessity to hurt yourself, you can do something that can substitute that action. For example, painting with a pen the area that you usually cut, or scratching with an ice cube in the skin. You can find a way to express yourself, like drawing, listening to music, watching TV, or some way to express yourself like a diary. Now that I tell you what a mental illness is, what they can cause, and how to avoid them, I invite you to be more attentive to your surroundings because you never know when a people can go through a bad time. And if you are the one that got through a bad time, it's not late. Ask for help. You can get it with a familiar, friends, with therapy in the school. There are many ways to help you. Now, let me introduce you a part of a song that was made of all greatest band. You need help. Look at yourself. You need life. It's okay. Don't harm yourself. You don't need to be a joker all of the time. Queen.
Hi, my name is Renata Ramos and I'm from Villa Educativa de Saltillo. Did you know that 70% of dogs around the world live homeless, abandoned, and in streets? Well, maybe in the first instance, when you want a pet, we usually think about a store or about going to a newborn animal. And if we stop to think about it, having a pet is not just about going to the store. We will see the change. Our future pet is a living being that we have to take care of. Considering the increase in pet abandonment, it's necessary to think about this problem. Just to make you think about the magnitude of the problem, I'm going to talk about you what happens when you do not show affection to your dog. First of all, when you do not show affection to your dog, it can develop other problems such as obesity, anxiety, stress, and frustration. But on the other hand, when you show affection to your dog, it can translate into security and peace of mind for your dog. Also, petting can be all this when the pet is nervous or has spent a lot of time alone. There are many cases of abuse. Many cases of abandonment pets that reach animal shelters are also cases of abuse, some of which are extremely serious. We can also find dogs of all ages, both puppies, adults, or injured animals, and depending on our pace of life, they will be the best companion for us. If, for example, you like to go running, adult or a young pet will be the best companion for you. But on the other hand, when you want tranquility more, Perhaps an elderly dog is the best companion for you. Obviously, with fresh and clean water, nutrition, exercise, rest well, and the most important, love for your dog. So, what you should do it? Well, I'm going to give you some reasons to do it. Number one, in most cases, adopting means giving a second chance for a dog that has suffered abandonment and sometimes abuse. Number two, gratitude and emotional bond with an adopted dog. In exchange, the reward you will obtain is infinite. Number three, social animal. By spending a lot of time in streets, they are used to play and living with another people and another animals. Number four, they're independent. Also, by spending a lot of time in streets, they aren't to depending on someone. So they will ask you for less attention from you. This is good or this is great when you spend a lot of time outside of your house. Adopting is a great way to give a home to pet in need. There are thousands of dogs around the world looking